Would you rather regular fry or curly fry?
Regular fry.
What?
Oh, yeah. I don't
Go to
like
hell.
fries.
Get out of here.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. You can come back.
Big dogs are in the house!
Hey! The 84 jerseys out, man. I think this is going to be a fun ride.
Bye, Felicia.
Inside the lane, drive, left, over. Fronted by Park! Oh my goodness! Where did he come from? Behind the back jam by the big team! This is not Detroit, man! This is the Super Bowl!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Practice like this? Up! We up!
Straight cash, homie.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Clarksville bullshit, so.
Home run! Welcome back, Lou Collins!
And welcome back to Thunderdome for another Bro Hug edition of Andy Must Die. We are Minnesota Sports Talk. Kinda. I'm your not so humble host, Andy Carlson. At Andy Carlson Show is my Twitter, and I'm riding shotgun with my partner in crime, a woman whom Ronda Rousey would be scared to fight, at Die Murphy MN. Die, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Now, I feel kind of bad for the yahoos who paid $65 for that pay-per-view, but yeah, what are you going to do?
You know, they can just go back and watch it like on YouTube over and over and over and over.
See, you could just watch it on YouTube like 10 minutes afterwards.
I don't understand it. I mean, I don't get any of it. Like, I don't get the MMA. I don't get the UFC. I definitely don't get the WWE. So, yeah, it's all kind of...
All right, let it be noted that Dai has now lumped in the art of mixed martial arts with pro wrestling.
No, I'm not. They're different.
They're
different.
We're on Twitter at Andy Must Die. We're up to 788 followers. We're big. We're big time.
We need to get bigger.
Half of them, that's what she said, half of them are pornography bots, probably, or that stupid little Ted Bear thing, but, whatever. We could go. That's fine.
We can blame that Ted Bear thing on at Purple Buckeye, Ted Glover, because it seems like that's the only connection. Like, I can't figure out why else we would get followed, or, and personally, I've been followed on Twitter by those stupid Ted things.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater. Hello.
You think that's why?
Hello. And all of your pontificating about TED Talks, come on, you like being in very engaging speeches about technology and industry and capitalism, Di.
That's true. Very much so.
All right, now the tried and true intro question before we start getting into some Minnesota sports and the meat. What are you wearing?
Well, it's my day off, and I'm wearing yoga pants, and a tank top, and a hoodie, and some socks.
Now, is any of it Lululemon?
No. My yoga pants are from Lucy.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, it's nicer than Target, not quite, Lululemon. So
I just had a stunning realization that I'm wearing basically the exact same outfit as last week. I'm still wearing the same house slippers. I'm wearing the same golf polo, except I'm wearing jeans instead of cut-off sweatpants because I'm not a heathen.
Okay, but see, why do you have house shoes, slippers? You're not like 85.
See, I don't know. I just don't really enjoy the whole barefoot because we have hardwood, and I suppose if we had carpet, then it would make sense to go barefoot or in socks. Know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But it is the first week of March, and in like a lion or in like a lamb or what's the saying, Dad? You're a teacher.
March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Now, have you ever done any of those cute little poster boards where all the kids draw like a lion in the shape of their hand? Or is that turkey?
That's a turkey.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
But you could do a lamb that way too, and then you glue cotton balls to it.
Yeah, but then it's just like a hairy turkey.
No, it's like a fuzzy turkey.
All right, fine. But hey, we got some crappy weather the last couple of days, but now it's going to be 45 this weekend, I
am so excited. I hope it never gets cold again this season. I hope we're like, this is it. Like today was brisk, man. I came home, I had to walk the dog around the block.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to die. It's like really cold out there.
I was going to die.
Yeah, I was going to die.
Hey, anyways, we have a ton of stuff to get to tonight. A lot of Minnesota Wild talk. Jordan Leopold comes home thanks to his little daughter. Not really, but it's kind of a cute story. Dubnyk is standing on his head and on his face while they're racing towards the playoffs. Vikings make a trade. Nope, not that one. But Matt Cassel, he gone. And Spielman and Zimmer try to mend some fences with Adrian down in Houston. And it doesn't have the feel of everyone flying down to Hattiesburg trying to bring Favre back, but it feels like the Vikings are kind of on their knees doing a little begging. Am I wrong there?
I would disagree.
Right, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to contentiousness. I feel like it's a little bit of begging, but also a little bit of doing your due diligence and crossing T's, dotting I's, but whatevs. And then we'll get to quick hits, a little die time as well. Die preview. What are you gonna be ranting about today?
Patrick Waugh and the Colorado Avalanche.
Patrick
complete
Waugh.
douchebags.
Hoo-ah. And in the last segment, we'll get to our Twitter questions. Well, not our Twitter questions, the ones that you sent in. We got some doozies this week, and also our game segment, a little Would You Rather. And it's fairly straightforward and simple, isn't it, Di?
Yeah, I have some ready for you, too.
Now, a softball one would be, would you rather regular fry or curly fry?
Regular fry.
What?
Oh, yeah. I don't
Go to hell.
Fries.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. You can come back.
I'm already going to hell, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, hold on. I got to mark that. That's going to be the intro. Okay. But first, let's hit it off with some Minnesota sports news and a familiar face coming home again.
Minnesota sports news.
Jordan Leopold comes home, and his daughter Jordyn, with a Y, wrote a letter to the Minnesota Wild coaches about getting her daddy home, and then the Wild made the trade with Columbus, bringing the 34-year-old defenseman, former Gopher, and the pride of Golden Valley back to Minnesota. Now, Leopold is a little bit long in the tooth. Do you think this is more kind of a cute story, or the Wild loading up for the stretch run?
Well, I mean, they definitely need help, on D. So I think bringing him back is it suits both. It both is like a feel good, welcome home, bring the hometown boy back, but it's also, they need help. Like when his daughter said, you need help on D, she was not lying. So, and that was so cute. I mean, I absolutely loved that. I mean, and I love that she's named after her dad. Thought it was super cute. So I have a true story kind of thing here, kind of a connection with this. My husband and I are huge Gopher hockey fans, and I was actually pregnant with my son, Justin, when we attended the NCAA championship game in 2002. And we almost named him Jordan, like after Jordan Leopold. And It was close. It was close. But to me, Jordan's more of a girl's name. Like now, I mean, I know some Jordans that are boys, but not many. It seems to be more of a girl's name, and so we named him Justin instead of Jordan, but we considered naming him Jordan after Jordan Leopold.
Now, is it a girl's name because of Michelle Jordan?
No, just because Jordan to me sounds like a girl's name.
Isn't Jordan a biblical name though, or am I just thinking of the country that's over there?
Okay, I wasn't aware that there would be religion involved in this podcast. So
we already have 2 religion strikes. I already condemned die to Hades, and then we have a biblical name reference. But yeah, it happens.
The River Jordan, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, probably. Or the Jordan Valley from House of Cards season 3. Hello, we'll talk about that later. Even though you probably haven't seen it because you're married with children. But the whole Jordan Leopold and the letter, it is amazingly cute. Apparently, she wrote it a couple months ago. Was it November, December? And then the wife put it on Facebook. But the wife was on with Barrero, and I wasn't really listening to what she was saying. I couldn't get past the accent because she sounds so Minnesotan. It was over the top crazy.
Really?
Oh yeah, she sounded like I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she sounded completely Fargo or the show Bobby's World, the cartoon.
No.
Anyways, the mom on there was very Minnesotan. I thought it was funny.
Okay. That's terrible.
Why?
Because most of us don't sound like that.
No, I think a lot of us do.
No.
No, listen to the playback, and you sound like you're from Central Casting from Fargo.
You're an ass.
All right. But anyways, it's a great story about another Minnesota guy coming home after Kevin Garnett, one of our adopted Minnesota guys. And I was wondering this earlier in the day, why it seems like Minnesota specifically, we're very enamored about the homecoming or the Minnesota boy done good. Why do you think that is?
Because we have so few of them. I don't know. I mean, who doesn't love a good, boy comes home and does good?
Except I feel like we really suck in the basketball department because we got Chris Humphreys, Rick Rickards, Sam Jacobson, and Joel Prisbilla. Whoops.
Well, that's why we've adopted Kevin Garnett as our, one of our own. Because he can, he actually had a good career and he still has a little left in the tank.
Then that we're cheering for Eric Decker. And Marcus and Thielen. So I guess that kind of evens out. Sure. Also traded to the Wild was something called Chris Stewart, who found out on live TV. I thought that was kind of comical. Now, who is this guy?
I'm sorry, but it's really, I think, kind of crappy that you find out on live. And I understand it's the trade deadline and there's, stuff going on. But, they couldn't have, phoned his agent and said, hey, he's been traded so that he could at least not find out on live national television. That was really crappy. But so he's a defenseman, or no, he's a power forward.
You play basketball too? Sweet.
No, he's a power forward. I mean, he's a bigger guy.
Oh,
he's a bigger guy. He likes to throw the weight around. The cut on him is that he's kind of lazy and kind of not in the best of shape and kind of unmotivated. And I liked what he said about, he was going to bring the grit to the lineup and he was going to use his forecheck to create turnovers and create some ugly goals, which the Wild really don't do. The Wild do pretty goals. I mean, there's not a whole lot of ugly goals. And so they need somebody who can throw the body around and actually do that. And I think, he's now gotten on a team that's going to be in the playoffs and hopefully that motivates him to elevate his game a little bit.
Now, it was under my impression that the forecheck is removed from boys at birth.
I got nothing, Andy. I got nothing there. You're on your own.
Just going to let that be some dead air there for a second.
Yeah.
But one of the main reasons the Wild are on track for the playoffs is Devin Dubnyk standing on his head and kicking some ass and other, other hockey terms. But he won the first star of February after going 11-2-1 in the month of February with 1.64 goals against, which is phenomenal. And he's the first Wild player to win the honor, which I did not know was a thing. Is that bad?
Well, and how is that? How has it been that long? And I mean, I don't know how long they've been giving that out, so I guess I didn't research that. But
it sounds kind of like a kindergarten award.
Well, because everybody gets one.
Turn. No,
it's your turn. I mean, because in kindergarten everybody gets an award, of some sort. So but the thing is, how's he the first guy to get it?
I don't know. I mean, who else was good from the Wild back in the day? Marian Gaborik.
Well, yeah.
Name dropper. I'm learning. This is awesome.
Should I applause? Give you a little?
No, I'll just cut in applause because I'll do what I want.
Okay.
But he started his 21st straight game, which is a new franchise record. And I also found out that in 06 to 07, he played some minor league hockey for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins, which is featured in one of my favorite shows, The Office. So he's extra cool in my book now. I'm sure that's very important to him.
I'm sure he's very excited. Probably more so than getting the first star.
Now, I'd be really disappointed if the trophy or whatever it is isn't in actual shape of a star.
Well, I would.
Because otherwise, what's the point?
Right.
There you go.
I mean, you can make a star. But the thing about him is
glitter
that
and macaroni.
Exactly. Like you said, he's absolutely standing on his head for the team, and they're playing so good in front of him. And I think it's because he's playing so well behind them. They can trust him. And, Fletcher looks like a genius for signing him. And, Yo's off the hot seat because guess what we realized? Goalies matter in the NHL.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah, absolutely. Wild, as mentioned, are racing towards the playoffs after last night, Tuesday. They beat Ottawa 3-2 in a shootout. Last night at the X, Matt Dumba scored the first 2 goals of the game in the second. Actually, all
Did
the
you just call him Matt Dumba?
Yeah, what's his name?
Dumba?
Yeah, whatever. Actually, all the scoring came in the second. Senators came rolling back to tie it. Went to shootout where the Wild prevailed. Is it really Dumba? Dumba?
It's Dumba.
I think you're trolling me. Anyways.
How could it be Dumba?
Wild currently 34,
you.
22-7, 75 points, and currently second in the wild card seeding, which means the 8th seed and the Kings and Sharks are a little bit behind with 72, apparently. All right, so I just learned how the hockey playoffs work, where it's the top 3 seeds from each division and then 2 floating wild cards. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it goes by points, but if they're tied in points, and then it goes wins in regulation or overtime. Baby, I'm actually really proud of myself. I'm smart.
You're so smart, Andy.
SMRT.
So smart.
And if the season ended today, the Wild would be playing the number 1 seed Predators, currently tied 89 points with the Ducks. Nashville has 35 ROW, as the kids say. Anaheim only has 33. I don't know if you know that, Di.
I did not. Mostly because I do not care.
See, you don't care who the Wild play in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, I mean, I don't. It's the stats are the stats. I mean, it doesn't matter. When you get into the situation, playoff hockey is completely different.
And there's also reseeding in playoff hockey, which is kind of neat.
True.
This is all new to me. Be quiet. It's like someone who never ate Mexican food, but are now just identifying all these brand new things like quesadillas and fajitas and burritos. And
so is this your first season actually following in the Wild?
I followed at the tail end of last year in the playoffs before they got hammered by Chicago. But other than that,
so you were a bandwagon fan?
Well, no. See, the thing is, I've never really been deeply involved in hockey. I've been told many times by my friends that I should be, and I am starting to follow now as football off season. There's a lot of stuff there, but it is kind of boring. It's all speculation and direct, and at least until March 10th. So I have been starting to pay attention more. I've started to learn the names, and they're all white guys.
Pretty much, at least as far as the Wild are concerned.
All right, speaking of the football and the offseason and nothing really happening until March 10th, Matt Cassel has been traded in principle to the Buffalo Bills, who just traded for Shady McCoy last night. And Buffalo gets Cassel and the Vikings' 2015 6th-round pick. Minnesota gets Buffalo's first, number 5. They had 2 coming into this draft, and the 7th-round pick from 2016. Di, yay or nay on the trade?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still it just happened. So I'm still trying to figure it out because to me it seemed like, yeah, Cassel's a little expensive for a backup, but he is well-versed in the system. He's reliable. He's, as far as I can tell, has a good rapport with Teddy. Mm-hmm. He knows the system. I was confused, actually. I was like, what? What do you think?
I would have been fine keeping him, even at his, was it $4.75 million salary, mostly because Teddy's on a rookie deal, and the third quarterback is probably going to be a rookie or a very cheap veteran. So the money tied up in the quarterback position, yes, it's disproportionate because Cassel's getting so much, but it's still low compared to the rest of the league.
Well, and they're so far under the cap. I mean, I have a hard time believing that, his salary was the reason to dump him. I mean, I don't get it.
I do like that they get a little upgrade in the later round picks and plus pick up an extra one next year. Yes, it is the 7th, but we've seen what Rick can do with 7th round picks, getting, Shamar Stephen, guys like Audie Cole, guys who actually matter and contribute. So I wouldn't mind keeping him, but I understand why they got rid of him. And now it just opens up all the speculation. Are we going to go after Brian Hoyer? He has some experience with Norv. Is T-Jack going to come home because he's a free agent? Or
you know what? You should just be slapped for even suggesting that because
on,
there's no way. There is
Minnesotans love a homecoming story.
0 chance.
No,
this is not his home. This is not T-Jack's home. Nobody wants him back here.
Last week we talked about Kevin Garnett coming home. This week we talked about Leopold coming home, and next week March 11th, T-Jack. I'm coming home.
No.
Oh, well, all right, so would you rather, this is another very plausible scenario, that Christian Ponder sticks around?
No, he's gone. He's a free agent.
I know, but this opens the door wide open. Fusco just came out and said to Thomason that he endorses Christian Ponder coming back. Take that as far as you will from a right guard, but the guys seem to like him. He is a veteran, has a year in Norb system, but
no, seriously, no. I mean, no. Nobody on that team respects him as a leader of this team. Nobody.
Fusco
Zero.
does.
Nobody. None.
I would feel so bad for him, especially if, God forbid, something happened to Teddy and then he had to come in and then he played like he did at Lambeau. It's just adding salt to an already mortal wound, and I still really think that he has to get a fresh start. But Cassel moving on, it does increase the chances that he comes back, but I'd rather not.
No.
I'd rather not.
It doesn't.
All right,
There's seriously less than zero chance that they bring him back.
All right, so you poo-pooed on Ponder and poo-pooed on T-Jack. Who do you want as Teddy's backup?
I didn't think they should have gotten rid of Cassel. He was perfectly fine. I was willing. I mean, I thought the paying what they paid him, yeah, it's a little high for a backup. But like you said, considering what they're paying Teddy and what the third string quarterback would get, I don't get it. I'm confused. And, people are like, oh, Brian Hoyer. Well, here's the thing. Brian Hoyer wants to be a starter. He doesn't want to be a backup to a very young, most likely franchise quarterback here. He's not going to want to do that.
If the price is right and you can't find a chair, I mean, what other quarterback jobs are going to be open? Cleveland's already kind of shut since they got McCown back. Tennessee, they got Mettenberger, might draft Mariota, might draft Jameis, same with Tampa. So there aren't going to be a lot of really open competitions.
That's true. And you know what? If Hoyer comes here, I'm cool with that. But it's not like that's where he's looking to go.
I think the only quarterback on the roster right now is Pat Devlin. But, woohoo. Would you support a second comeback for MBT?
No.
Balthazar?
No.
Fine. Someone else who also might be out the door is Adrian Peterson, and our boy, Arif, broke a little news, made a little waves, writing an article saying that the Vikings are actively trying to dump Adrian, and there are several teams interested. The article got some national play. Arif got a lot of heat, but, he can stand it. He's fine. And, yeah, here we are. And Zimmer, we mentioned the bro hug at the top. Zimmer and Spielman are down in Houston as we speak at Adrian's house talking it out. And I've been watching the coverage if there's been any emerging from the house or if anyone's been in front of any windows. This all seems very voyeuristic and hot. But you mentioned that you don't think that they're down there kissing his feet. What do you think is the tone down in Houston?
Well, first of all, let's give Arif official credit. Arif
Yes.
Hassan at Arif Hassan NFL on Twitter. I loved what he wrote because that was completely what I've been thinking. I've said from day one when the story first broke about the abuse that he did,
Yep.
he would never wear purple again. I've maintained that this entire time, and I really think that's the case. He outlines in his article on Vikings territory that these are reasons why. I mean, these are things that have happened that have soured the relationship. They don't want him back. He's a PR nightmare right now, and sponsors don't want to deal with it. The fans are divided. He's 30 and he hasn't played in a year, and he's commanding a king's ransom for his salary. So I don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't know. I personally think they're down there to just kind of try and make nice a little bit, to try and pave a way for a trade that kind of benefits both sides. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I'm at.
I tend to agree that Zimmer might be down there trying to do everything they can to get Adrian back, because with head coaches, it's a year-to-year thing, and he wants to win now. Adrian would help him win now. But I think Spielman is down there trying to find an amicable solution to this, where Adrian, I don't think he wants to be back. In his heart of hearts, I think he is actually thinking that he is the victim here. And he's been wronged.
Right,
Oh, Lord,
right.
he's been
Well, I mean,
wronged by the Minnesotans.
If you read his statements, absolutely. Somehow he's turned himself into the victim instead of this poor kid that he beat the crap out of.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but there's no room for that. You don't even, like, if he really felt like he had gone overboard and made a mistake like he claimed early on, you don't turn yourself into the victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, people are jumping on his wife for, you know, all her comments. Here's the thing. As a wife, I get her wanting to defend her husband. Nobody wants to see their husband dragged through the mud or vilified or whatever. But the deal is he did it. I mean, he freaking did it. And he wants to turn himself into a victim, and he's not. He's a grown man who commands a huge amount of money, and he needs to, he hasn't owned what he did. Like, it's all been, you know, whatever. I mean, anything comes out of his mouth is just BS. So, and I don't think there's a chance he wants to play here. I think there's enough, you know, sour grapes that he's ready to go. And I think right now they're just trying to figure out how to make that happen and not have the Vikings take it in the shorts, you know, to make it work out somehow so that it's mutually beneficial.
Now, what was that phrase, take it in the shorts?
That's what I said.
Okay. Now, not to be glib here, but I'm going to be a little glib. Is the son that he abused or hit with the stick, is that with the current wife? Is she the mother of that child?
No.
Okay.
No, he has like, I don't know, it's like 5 or 7 kids by like 5 or 7 different baby mamas. I mean, he was out there sowing his oats, so to speak.
All right, but back on track, like you said, I think Spielman sees it like a lot of the rational fans see it, is that this is the last year we could actually get something for him because no one's going to trade for a 31-year-old running back next offseason slated to make $14.75 million. And I trust Arif as a professional journo, and you know, he has sources, and a lot of people were questioning him, being like, oh, what does a blogger know? Art fart or R fart? There you go. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So some dude called him R fart, which is hilarious. But the several teams interested, AJ Mansour came out with a list that Adrian put out saying, identifying 5 teams he would like to be traded to. Indianapolis, Dallas, Arizona are the ones that we've all been talking about. I'm putting my money on Arizona. And then 2 dark horses, San Diego and Tampa Bay. Right now, calling your shot, where does Adrian play 2015?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't.
You are, all right, so you have $1. You are given $1. You have to place it on a team to bet. Wagering. Who you got?
I'm going to go Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Jerry can't help himself.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, Jerry likes a good shit show because that's, what he entertains down there. And, they've already franchise tagged Dez. I think Murray's gone. And what else do they have?
A great offensive line.
With a really terrible quarterback.
Cameo from the dog. What's his name? Herding.
Murph. His name is Murphy.
Murphy, where do you think Adrian plays next year?
Murphy, where is Adrian paid? Where is he playing next year? Dallas?
Bark one for Arizona.
Yeah, nothing.
Damn it. My money is still on Arizona.
But why?
Steve Keim and Bruce Arians, they're so close. They know that they are, even with shoddy quarterback play, and they just got extensions, so they got some job security, so they can make a little bit of waves, take a couple chances that a GM or a head coach that were on 1 or 2 year short leashes couldn't make. Plus, they cleared some cap by restructuring Fitz. They got rid of Dockett. They might bring him back. That freed up $6.5 million. They were up pretty snug against the cap. Now they got some room to play. They might restructure Carson Palmer, which will freed up even more room, and bring on Adrian to the desert. I know they got Andre Ellington out there, but he's kind of more of a scat back type, and he did wear down once they given him too much work. So why not pair an explosive weapon like Andre Ellington up with a guy who has still a bit of hammer left in him, Adrian Peterson, out in the desert, make it worth our while. And I already called it. We're getting a 1st and a 5th this year and a 3rd next offseason. Calling it.
From Arizona.
From Arizona.
All right.
153 is the place to be. Trading AP
I'd make that deal in a heartbeat.
to ARZ. Yeah, because last week we were talking, and we're both on the train that we would take a guaranteed two right now for Adrian. But I think things have shifted a little bit where the market is going to be a little bit more hot for Adrian. So now
I
this
don't
is the
know.
exciting
I
part.
really don't know because there's other free agent running backs, and there's also this draft is running back heavy. I mean it's a deep class for running backs. So I don't know that what you can command for him is as much as you think.
To be honest, the deal that Philadelphia just did with Buffalo, trading Shady for Kiko Alonso, Shady was slated to make about 10 this year. I would have taken that deal because Kiko Alonso, even coming off of ACL injury, it was an early July injury, so he's had plenty of time to rehab. He had a beast of a rookie season in 2013. It could be a difference maker at linebacker for a long time. I would have taken that in a heartbeat for Adrian.
Oh, so would I.
Yeah.
I mean, did you look at his salary?
He cheap.
He's cheap.
Plus, it was funny. Numerous radio shows I was listening to this morning, national ones, were talking about, why can you trade Shady for a guy coming off an injury like that? They're talking about Alonso like he had Ebola or something because ACLs are no big deal anymore.
Well, and no, they're not. I mean, actually, if you properly rehab it, you can completely come back from that. And I think, we've seen that over and over and over again.
All right, and we've been a little bit too verbose in the first segment, but let's get to these other stories real quick. Are we already bored of Garnett?
No, I am not.
I kind of am.
No, I'm not. Do you know why? Because they didn't bring him here to be like the show. They brought him here to mentor these young guys, and that's exactly what he's doing. I've watched him on the sidelines. I watch him talking to these kids. This team is so young, and they need somebody, other than their coach, who's going to be a mentor to them. And yeah, he's kind of, crazy, but he's intense and he plays crazy defense, which this team does not. I think he's great. For what he is, like you can't expect him to come in and score a bunch of points or play all the time. He's a presence. And I think that's what they brought him in to be.
Plus the big ticket gave out 1,000 tickets to Monday's game, which is pretty cool.
I loved that. And I loved the note that he put out basically saying, the support I've had, since coming home and blah, blah, blah. Did you see LeBron buying any tickets for, fans when he returned to Cleveland?
Well, he wouldn't have to give them away because they're selling like hotcakes.
I'm just saying.
Yep. But, he did get ejected from one game, has sat out a bunch of others. It was a questionable ejection. But, see, I'm starting to buy into the conspiracy theory that they're just going to suit up KG at home and then give them the road games off just to sell at the home crowd. But,
Well, that's part of the reason they brought him in. Absolutely sell tickets. You'd be an idiot not to. But at the same time, he also has valuable experience that he can share with these young kids. And I think that's the main reason they brought him in.
And Wiggins is a star in the making. And LaVine, after his one-trick pony slam dunk win, has been playing very well since the All-Star break.
I love what I'm seeing from him because I figured he was a couple years from doing what he's doing right now because he's very young and he's very raw. But, he's getting it. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. This team actually looks pretty good for as young and as decimated as they've been by injuries. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what they're putting out right now.
And speaking of putting out, a couple of Gophers put out at their pro day, Maxx Williams solidified his spot as the number one tight end in the upcoming draft, and then he will go to Seattle, and then he will make us cry.
As long as he doesn't go to like the Packers or the Bears or the Lions, fine. I personally have picked out the Colts for him. I would like him to go play for the Colts.
A lot of people have tied him to the Packers, too, because they need some tight end help.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
In that section of the draft.
No, it's terrible. It's bad. Bad idea. Bad. The Colts. I want him to go to the Colts. I like the Colts. They have a great quarterback. They could use a tight end.
And they'll have Adrian.
The Colts.
Now, see, I wonder if they'll let him take out 28 because that was Marshall Faulk's number. Except I don't think they retired that because he only played there a couple of years.
I don't know.
No, wait, no, 28's been in rotation. I think Greg Toller was number 28. Anyways, but no Cobb at the pro day. Still nursing that quad injury he suffered at the combine. Maybe die. This allows him to slip into that 4th round, and Spielman grabs him.
Yes, I know. I felt really terrible that I was excited that he got hurt because he's fabulous. I'm a Gopher season ticket holder, so I've been watching him for a while. I love this kid. I've wanted him in purple for a long time, and when he got hurt, it was like, oh damn, you feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, but he probably drops because teams aren't going to take a chance on him. So yeah, that's looking pretty good actually.
Well, if we get that 3rd round pick from the Cardinals. Wait, no, that's next year. I already messed up my shot. Anyways, in the mess of picks that we get for Adrian, whoever he goes to, maybe we take a mid-round flyer. I've always said that I love McKinnon. I want him to be like a 70% of the workload guy, but we need to pair him up with a hammer. David Cobb would be that guy. David Johnson, Northern Iowa would be that guy. And my favorite, Jay Pickle Juice drinking a Jai would be that guy from Boise State. I love that kid.
I would prefer Cobb over all of them.
Well, yeah, because we're Minnesotans. We love a hometown guy done.
But he's badass. I mean, he would be a perfect complement to McKinnon.
All right. Another perfect compliment to our show would be the first break. Segment 1 is in the books, and we'll be back with a little die time, quick hits, and a new game called Would You Rather. What is it? I don't know. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you don't get it, you're kind of dumb. Andy Must Die, Episode 4, BRB. I'm amped up. The Purple for the Win podcast is your one-stop shop for the team you hate that you love. That's right, dedicated to the pain and pleasure that is the Minnesota Vikings. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube for our weekly and bi-weekly mediocrity. And, of course, there's always purpleftw.com. Because, aside from nipple clamps and chains and whips, cheering for the Purple People Eaters is probably the most pleasurable pain you can experience on this planet. So come on in. For the mediocre analysis and the more mediocre humor, purpleftw.com. That's right, purpleftw.com.
Straight cash, homie.
And coming back for segment 2 of episode 4 of Andy Must Die, Minnesota Sports Talk. Kind of. And we are talking about Die urinating over the break.
What?
Apparently
no,
not.
We were not. No.
Fine. Now,
Stop. You're gross.
Now, see, I may or may not have fantastic microphones, so I may or may not have been able to pick up the audio of that. May or may not.
You did not, because I had my microphone on mute. Box.
Fine. But we're getting into a little die time now to kick off segment 2.
Die time. You know you want it.
And Die, you wanted to talk about this little gentleman by the name of Patrick Hua.
Yes.
Right? There you go.
Yeah, Patrick Hua. And really, it's like Roy. His name is Patrick Roy.
I've said it
Why
many
do they
times.
pronounce it Hua?
His gosh darn name is Roy. There you go.
Right, Patrick Roy. So that's how I'm going to call him, because he's such a ginormous douchebag. So the Wild played the Colorado Avalanche on Sunday, and there was several things that happened. One of the things was their McLeod basically, came into the. I don't even know why he was on the ice, other than the fact that he's a goon and that's what they do.
Starting some trouble.
Right. So he's whatever, left wing, right wing, I don't remember. But anyway, he's a winger, and he comes in when the puck drops and basically levels Mikael Granlund, levels him. Like he didn't even see him coming. And then I think it was Coyle, Charlie Coyle. Yep. I think it was Coyle.
Yep.
Just, they proceeded to fight or whatever. And so then he goes off, and then all of a sudden they show the bench and it's like Landeskog reaches over around the divider that's between the benches, the plexiglass, and punches Mikko Koivu in the face.
Not Mikko.
It was like
not El Capitan.
Yeah, it was Mikko. I'm like, and he didn't do anything. He was basically just standing there, and it was like, and I'm sorry, but the Avalanche are dirty. They've always been dirty. I think if you ask anybody in the NHL, other than Avalanche fans, they would say they're the dirtiest team. Like they do the most. They do, yeah. They take the cheapest shots. They do the dirtiest things. So
that all stems from their coach, right?
Oh, absolutely. So Landeskog got a $5,000 fine for punching Koivu. And the quote from Wah was, for $5,000, should have punched him hard enough to make it worth it. And that's your coach. Now, let's not even bring into the conversation the fact that he's been arrested for domestic violence. He has 2 sons who are notorious for getting, suspensions and penalties for, cheap play and dirty play. Why is this guy allowed to coach? I mean, he should be kicked out. I'm sorry. I see zero room for that kind of crap to happen.
Now, coming in cold, I've always thought that the fighting in hockey, it's kind of a neat shtick, but in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of pointless. I mean, I really don't see a point of it, except maybe to, augment for some bad reffing and make sure you get your point across. But then again, it slows down the game. It seems kind of hokey and outdated. Di, what do you think?
Well, and, in some circumstances, I agree. I mean, or in most, I would say. But if you have your finesse players and so you're playing against a team that and they're continually throwing out goons to just put the body to your finesse players or whatever, you have to have some sort of checkpoint for that. Like there has to be some sort of check and balance. And so I get why teams have enforcers. The Wild have definitely had them. Bugard was like our best and biggest enforcer.
Yeah, you gotta love Bugard.
So I understand it, but at the same time, because you have to protect your own. So you have to have a body that's going to go out there and just basically level somebody, because they're going to have somebody that's going to level somebody. So it's kind of like a checks and balance kind of thing.
Yeah, except there's no fighting in Olympic hockey, and I've watched Olympic hockey, a lot more than watching actual NHL, and I just find the game better. It's because you're not worrying about which goons are going to throw down and dropping gloves. Well,
that's true, and in the same vein of that, I prefer to watch WNBA versus NBA because the WNBA play a clean, more pure, fundamental game than the NBA plays. There's no flopping. There's no, complete bullshit that, you travel like 8 steps and nobody calls it. So, I mean, right. There's apples and oranges comparison there.
The funny thing is, do you think it's a little bit of bitter grapes from the Avs since the Wild have completely dominated them this season?
Well, I mean, I've watched the videos of them talking about it, and sure, some of it is, but they've owned us in the past too. So, I mean, it's just
not last year's playoffs.
Oh no, I'm just saying they're bitching right now. They're making stuff up to make excuses for their bad behavior, but they do that all the time. It's not just against the Wild in the playoffs, whatever. It's just, that's what they do. They're horrible. They play a dirty game. But the NHL doesn't do anything about it. I mean, $5,000 fine, really, to an NHL player? How much does that really equate for a normal, American? $5?
$50?
$50? Right. That's not sending a message.
Now, all right, so say something happened with Yo, and the Wild hired Patrick Roy. What would you do?
I would disown the team.
Really?
Yep. I hate him that much. He's disgusting. He's disgusting. As a professional. Professionally, he's disgusting, and as a human being, he's disgusting.
Now,
so
he was a goalie, so that doesn't really give him many opportunities to be out there doing goony stuff. But was he a bit of a dirty player at all?
Oh, for sure. You could find video of him slashing guys and stuff around the net. Absolutely.
Oh, please tell me he was in one of those goalie fights, because that is a fighting I can get behind.
I'm sure he probably was.
It's hilarious. It's like two dudes in those blow up sumo dolls, sumo costumes going at it. It's funny.
Because you're like under 8 layers of padding and yeah.
See, there must be some bad blood coming into the game for goalies to go at it, because you're hundreds of feet apart. So, well, maybe not hundreds, but you're far enough apart where what are you going to do? Talk trash to them? Are you going to do sign language?
Right.
Well, I guess there's universal sign language.
Let's fight. Right.
In French
Middle
Canadian.
finger.
There you
right.
go. All right. So, anything else with Patrick Roy?
I haven't, and I've been off Twitter or off and on, and
Nice.
so I haven't seen if he's been. I haven't seen that Waz been fined for anything that he did. He should have been. I mean, he's in control of those players. He should be fined for what happened during that game against the Wild. And I haven't seen that he has been. And I don't understand why the league cuts him so much slack. He doesn't deserve it.
He's a marquee name. Casual people know him.
He's a douche.
I even know him.
He's a douche.
He's the only goalie I know besides Nikolai Havebulin. Come on.
You have a lot of work to do.
That's a mandatory Nikolai Havebulin reference for the episode. I think he's been brought up every single episode so far.
I haven't brought him up. I'm just saying.
Fine. Did you just cough right there?
Maybe.
Fine. Speaking of Twitter, did you see my crude Photoshop of Zimmer and Spielman and Adrian bro hugging it out at a senior prom?
I did that.
It's fantastic. Anyways, let's get to some quick hits in the segment 2. First one, Philip Nelson, sentenced to 100 hours community service, no jail time for his role in the May 11th fight that left former Minnesota State Mankato, but really Mankato State, University football player Isaac Kolstad with a brain injury. Nelson pled out in January to 5th-degree assault. Thoughts?
Seriously, how did this kid only get 100 hours of community service?
I don't know.
I understand that there was evidence that showed that the kick to his kick to Kolstad's head wasn't what caused the brain injury, but he kicked an unconscious person in the head.
Yep.
I mean, how do you plead that out to 100 hours? I mean, 100 hours, really?
Yeah, Nelson must have had a great attorney.
I don't get it. And part of it is they're athletes, and that's.
Would you really call Philip Nelson an athlete? All right, that's a little snarky.
I would say in parentheses, athlete. But anyway, there's this whole culture that like society doesn't hold professional athletes responsible for their behavior because they're professional athletes, and you see it. In the Ray Rice thing, or apparently what might be the Des Bryant thing, or the Ben Roethlisberger thing. I mean, there's so many. We don't hold them accountable. We, as society, because somehow we hold them in such high esteem that we tell them it's okay. Mm-hmm. You're special. It's okay. The rules don't apply to you. BS. I'm sorry. That kid should have served jail time for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Nelson got any leeway at all in that it's from the sounds of reports that Kolstad started the altercation?
Yes and no. I mean, I haven't read everything about it, but right. I mean, but at the same time, here's a guy that someone has rendered unconscious, and then you kick him in the head. I mean, they're not a threat to you. Clearly he wasn't even talking shit to you because he's unconscious.
Yep, I agree. But Kolstad continues to rehab. He's already been back with the football team, and hopefully he continues getting well. And Philip Nelson, I really hope he stays out of trouble. He should have gotten some jail time. I think he got time served for the 2 days he spent in jail. But other than that, what can you do? A little bit happier
I
note.
know.
A little bit happier note. Apparently. So I'm starting to pay attention to baseball again. Now, baseball and we have a weird dynamic in that this is the first sport I really loved. You know, the Kirby Puckett, Ken Herbeck, Shane Mack, Pedro Munoz, Kevin Tampany, Scott Erickson years. You know what I mean? And then I kind of drifted away. But now I'm really dedicating myself to coming back this year. Just had Brandon Warney on the Purple for the Win last week. Wait, no, Monday. This week's been jam-packed. I had him on Monday, talked Twins, talked Vikings, and I found out in my extensive research, there's a guy on the roster named Mark Hamburger. Come on.
You know, here's my love-hate thing with the Twins.
Yeah.
I played softball for many, many, many years. And I was a huge Twins fan for many, many years. And my favorite player of all time, and whose jersey number I had to wear of always, was Kent Herbeck. So I get it. But right now, I don't give two jacks about the Twins. And it's because the last, 5 years, I mean, it's just like, it's beaten the interest out of me.
But this
and I
is
know
the year.
that we have, you know what, it's not the year, because the year means you're going to the, World Series. So it's not the year. It's a better year. And I love that they have, these young guns coming up, and I mean, Tori's mentoring them and blah, blah, blah. I mean, but I don't care right now. I don't.
But Irvin Santana.
I don't care.
And Philly Hughes is going to have a better year than last year somehow.
Great. Don't care.
And Mark Hamburger, probably not going to make the roster at all, but he's a St. Paul kid. He's one of us. He's one of us.
The name. I mean, that's a great name.
Tis. And I'm going to be rooting for him. I think he's like number 70. And the funny thing about baseball, especially in the spring, any guy who's above number 60 ain't making the team. But Twins are also slated to play the Gophers this evening in an exhibition, so that'll be fun. Hopefully the Gophers won't rock them. Also, high school hockey tournament, the playoffs, are going on the X. Now, apparently this is a big deal. Like, there are a ton of fans there, K fans there. Is this a big deal to you?
No, not to me. Sorry. High school sports are not a big deal to me. Like, it's maybe because my alma mater kind of sucks at everything. I don't know, but
well, who's your alma mater?
I'm not going to say.
Okay,
I'm not going to say. No,
I'll just have to Google it. Proceed.
Sure. There you go. Google it.
Found it.
But I really don't care. Mostly because it's mostly the more affluential schools who do well.
Affluenzas. Yes.
No, affluential.
Fine.
Rich kids, cake eaters. Got it?
Yeah. Now, do the cake eaters of like Minnetonka and Eden Prairie and Edina, they feel beneath them that they have to go to St. Paul to play their hockey state finals?
I hope they do.
I haven't even made reference to the blogging community yet. I feel kind of bad about that.
So why don't you?
The blogging community. I don't think the word has gotten to that guy yet. I kind of hope it does, because it'd be funny to me. But anyway.
Okay, but why are you just like vaguely talking about him now? Just like say it.
To be honest, I don't even remember his name. I'd have to go back to the show notes from last week.
The Viking fan page guy?
No, I wasn't talking about him. There's the wild guy. But yeah, the Vikings fan page guy, it seems like no one likes him.
Because he's a freaking idiot.
Yeah. Of course you could say that about me. So maybe you just dislike what you are. You know what I mean? So since he's an idiot, I'm an idiot, makes sense we don't like each other. Because I'm pretty sure he's blocked me.
That's false, because I'm not an idiot, and I think he's an idiot, and I have blocked him.
Well, see, the thing is, like, it seems like all women hate each other. Is that because that they're all women, so they hate what they're similar to?
No, I don't hate all women.
I was told that in my women's studies class.
No, I have fabulous female Twitter friends. Awesome.
I may have
fantastic.
put out that theory in my women's studies class.
Did they kick you out?
No, but You know, when you're in college and you're young and you think that you're going to take a women's studies class and be cute and meet women, no.
Oh my God! Wait? Hold on. You took a women's study class in college because you thought you would meet women?
Yeah. It did not work out.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
But I would do it again.
Okay.
There you go. This is a smooth segment. Damn it. Into Amanda Zahui. Named Big Ten Women's Basketball Player of the Year. And the sophomore center is averaging 18.5 points, 12.7 boards, and 4 blocks per game. She is the 4th Gopher to win the honor. Are you excited about the Gophers women's basketball?
Of course, because they're getting it done. I mean, the men were supposed to, do something, and they've not. And much like men's hockey at the U, women's hockey dominates. And in basketball right now, women's hoops dominates. And the reason why is because they have, and they're not even playing with their best player. She's out for the season. So, and she's coming back next year. So next year's going to be even more badass. Mm-hmm. So the thing about Zahui, I think it's Zahui.
Just say it with confidence.
Zahui.
Yeah.
She was named one of the 10 semifinalists for the Naismith Trophy, which is given to the College Player of the Year in women's basketball. So it's not even just she has, Big Ten Player of the Year or whatever, but she's up for an even bigger award, which I think she should win.
And she's a sophomore, so she has to stay.
She's so young. She's a baby.
One of us. And then she'll come to the Lynx.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Something else.
Because then again, there's another team in town run by women who are about women that knows how to win championships. There you go.
The Gophers women football team aren't really making waves in the Big Ten. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? That
would be awesome. I mean, how many years down the line do you think there'll be a women's collegiate football team?
Or
at least at the club level.
I don't see it. It's just because when you take a man and a woman, I mean, you can't physically get as big as men. I mean, you don't have the testosterone to do that. So
they're not playing men. They're playing how the women die.
I still don't see it. I don't know. I mean, it would be great. I played powder puff. I played powder puff football.
I could see an awesome 7-on-7 type intramural football league sprouting up.
And as long as they're not wearing lingerie, I'd be on board.
Yeah, that's stupid and gimmicky. And I kind of feel bad for the women who are actually there to play actual football, and then they have to trot out there in skivvies.
But they choose to.
I mean, we're also going to practice their craft.
Still no.
Someone that says yes to is the Eagles trade of Shady McCoy to Buffalo for Kiko Alonso. We already talked about this a little bit at the top. And I'm pretty excited because this sets a precedent that an older, big contract running back can be moved in today's NFL, even though it's very rare. Thoughts?
At first I was scratching my head. I'm like, really? Mm-hmm. They actually made that trade. It seemed like, LaShawn McCoy still got a lot, he's got a lot in the tank still.
Only 27.
I was shocked. But then when I looked at their cap space and, everything that's going on, it's yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that was a good move for them, which I was not in favor of when I first heard about it.
It's funny. Chip Kelly has personnel control now and got rid of Trent Cole and then veterans like Kerry Williams, freeing up a lot of cap space. I think they're going to spend like drunken sailors in free agency. I think they might go after Dubnyk and Sue. I think Kelly's going to trade all of his draft picks for Mariota. And damn it, if he's going down, he's going down his way. He's going down swinging. And I kind of respect that.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's doing it. He's owning it. I mean, it's his way. And great. That if it succeeds, he's going to get many accolades. And if it, burns and flames out and dies, he's going to get fired. But there you go.
He's going to get all the Oregon Ducks. You know, the funny thing about the Eagles is that they let Deshaun Jackson go last offseason. They let Shady go this offseason. Macklin might leave in free agency, and yet Riley frickin' Cooper gets a contract extension. Come on.
I don't get that, but, that's just me.
And then they put him on the February month of the Eagles team calendar, which is Black History Month.
No, really?
They did. That was a story
Wow.
a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Wow. Also, a story from last week. Brandon Bostic wrote in the Monday Morning Quarterback that he received multiple death threats after his onside kick gaffe in the NFC Championship game. That many people blame him for losing the game, but no, not really. That was a team lost by the Packers, and it was delicious. And Brandon Bostic is now #one of us, currently signed by the Vikings. And thoughts, Di? It seems like this happens far too often.
Here's the thing. It's a game. Okay,
Yep.
people? It's a game. It's not life. And if you have nothing better to do than, email or text or comment on, death threats to athletes who screw up, you need help because it's a game. It is not life. And it even if it's the enemy, like I don't even care who it is, it's like some people are so out of touch with reality. It's like, no, that's not real life. That's a game. And if you can't separate that, then you probably shouldn't participate because you clearly can't handle it.
I agree. And it's very easy to make fun of the Packers since they are our arch rival here, except there's definitely a segment of the Vikings fan base that is not above acts like this. I mean, a la Christian Ponder, Sam Ponder, there's some really terrible stuff and terrible people out there. And that's a very smooth segue into the story du jour of the week is Curt Schilling, the former Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Phillies pitcher. He defended his daughter over Twitter comments, and Schilling put out a tweet congratulating his daughter on being accepted to college and playing on the softball team. I think it was Regina University or something like that. And then he received multiple just absolutely terrible responses. Not going to read them, but I did read through them. They were way over the line, very graphic, and it doesn't take much genius to connect the dots. He found out who they were, and he turned them in. One was a student. They're currently suspended from college, and then one was a VP in a fraternity and also a Yankees part-time ticket taker, and he gone. He fired. All this after Schilling wrote out a blog detailing and releasing the information about the trolls and his stance on that. Di, what are your feelings about Curt Schilling going complete dad mode on this?
Seriously, those comments were disgusting. I read through them, and I'm glad they got in trouble for it.
Yep.
Everyone should applaud Schilling for doing what he did because he was basically just defending his daughter. Just because your dad is famous or whatever doesn't mean that it should open you up to the kind of comments that, it was disgusting. Mm-hmm. It really was. And I think it's great. I applaud him for doing what he did. If my daughter were her age and my husband were Curt Schilling, he'd probably hunt them down and kill them because you don't do that. It's beyond disgusting. And if you're a parent, if you're a human being, you should be against it. But if you're a parent, you especially get how horrible that was. And yep. I'm all on his side.
Yeah, I agree. What he did here was awesome. Publicly shaming these two yahoos. I don't think it will change any of the culture of social media or comment section, keyboard warriors, and like that. But it is kind of nice for a reminder that you do have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequences. And these two, got what they deserved, to be honest. And a lot of people give Schilling flack because of his previous comments about evolution on Twitter. He's a bit of a nut job, and also he started, I believe, it was a video game company that went bankrupt and took a bunch of Rhode Island state taxpayer money. And a lot of people bring that up as throwing shade on this act, but no, I think they're mutually exclusive. What he did here was awesome. You're a mother to a daughter. I'm going to be a father to a daughter here in a couple months, and I absolutely applaud his stance here. And it was really funny. I was listening on national radio a little bit this morning, and some people are actually being like, well, you don't have to be all braggadocious on social media. You kind of got what you deserved. And that's so stupid. He's just excited for his daughter.
That. I tweet stuff about my kids all the time. And I'm nobody. And you know what I mean? It's stupid. And I'm sorry, but kids are off limits as far as I'm concerned. If you want to take shots at Curt Schilling for something he's done, have at it. He's a public figure. His children are not. They should be off limits.
I agree. And it also devolved into a bit of minutia. I think Barrera was talking about this yesterday, where is this bullying or trolling? And I was talking about it with the wife. If they're directing the vitriol at her, I think it would be bullying. But since they're directing it at him about her, it's trolling. Although there isn't really a scientific definition of either. Your thoughts?
And I guess I would agree, but it doesn't matter. There's no place for it. She should not be subjected to anything because she's not a public figure.
Yep. No,
Bottom
I
line.
agree. But it's so weird how many tangents that, something as simple and straightforward as this goes off. I was like, oh, Curt Schilling stole taxpayer money. Or, ooh, what does bullying really mean in today's age where everyone's concerned about bullying? But I don't know, it's interesting. But bottom line, what he did, awesome, and I would do the same thing. Because I've gotten some terrible messages as well. I haven't really gone beast mode like Schilling did, and I'm sure you've gotten a couple too as a female.
A couple?
I'm sure you get a couple
daily. Many. But I can handle it because I can handle myself. But
what was the best one? No, just kidding.
No, I'm not even going to go there. But seriously, if you're a woman on Twitter and you know sports and you're not completely unattractive, the amount of DMs you get is ridiculous. And it's bad. I'm just going to say it's bad.
Sliding in your DMs like, what's up, buttercup?
Pretty much.
Shoot. All right, on to a little bit more levity to wrap up the segment since, Schilling, that's pretty heavy. What color is the damn dress?
Gold and white.
You were incorrect. Next up.
I'm not incorrect. How can anybody see it other than gold and white?
Because we've seen pictures of actual dresses, black and blue.
No, we've seen also gold and white.
No, we've seen not besides the picture. We've seen pictures of the actual dresses, black and blue.
Stop. No, stop.
God, fine. Llama drama. You messaged me today that you did not see it.
I didn't even have a chance to look it up. I have no idea what the llama drama is.
They happen on the same day / night, and it's so funny how something so stupid. Like a couple of llamas loose in Arizona or the color of a dress can get so much attention, and we can't take serious issues serious, but no, that's another argument for another day. But anyways, I was rooting for the llamas to get free, except they weren't going to outrun the chopper. Prince's...
Oh, so they were just like running loose?
Yeah, they were just loose, and then people were trying to lasso them in, and eventually they cornered them in a cul-de-sac, I think it was, and they caught him.
Well, what did they do with them? Did they
Probably took them back to the zoo. Or wherever the llamas were kept. I don't know.
That's depressing.
I only followed the coverage. I wasn't really interested in the stories because the jokes were very funny. Like, oh, the white llama's 40 time may cost him a couple rounds. Oh, the black llama's vertical jump is phenomenal. He's easily a second-round pick. I follow mostly football people. I'm sure there was some other funny non-football llama jokes.
Okay.
Also funny is Prince's junior high basketball pick. Did you see that?
Nope.
All right, so anyways, I include the link in there, and Prince is a 5'2", and he's about the 6th or 7th man on the team. His coach says he's a great ball handler, but he's a little bit short. And this all piggybacks off of Chappelle's Show, which probably isn't in your wheelhouse, but there's a sketch on there where Charlie Murphy recalls playing basketball against Prince, and Prince bawled. Why don't you bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
You know what? I'm, 5'3" and a little. So I'm all about the short man. So go Prince.
And all about the tall men is I Hate Christian Laettner. 30 for 30 is coming up on March 15th. Are you excited?
Not really.
I love 30 for 30s, and I hate Christian Laettner's, even though he played for the Timberwolves. I don't care.
He was such a bitch. I'm sorry, but he was.
That's pretty fair. March Madness, the first four comes up March 17th through 18th. The real tournament starts on the 19th. Di, tell me you're at least excited for that.
Nope.
You fill out your bracket. You win because women always win the bracket pool.
No, I'm terrible at the bracket. I need somebody to help me with my bracket. If you want to help me with my bracket, hit me up on DM at DieMurphy,
now,
MN.
The last comment, I did not want to come off as sexist, that women always win the bracket, but it's not sexist because it's truth. Because my wife and I fill out a bracket every year, and she always whips my ass, and she has no idea. Like, I follow college basketball very superficially, but she follows it not at all. So she usually picks, Murray State to go to.
Ooh,
the
I
Final
had
Four,
them last year, actually.
Or Coppin State or whatever.
Yep.
Like, she will pick a 15 or 16 seed to go to the Elite Eight, and she will still whoop my ass.
I like the underdog, so I feel her. I feel her very much. But again, we should
cut that out as a clip and then have it out of context.
No, if you want to help me out with my bracket at DieMurphy, MN on Twitter, hit me up.
Slide into Die's DMs just like we're sliding into the second break. Segment 3 coming up, a little Would You Rather, your Twitter questions, and then we out. And You Must Die, Episode 4, BRB.
Hello?
For daily conversations with the players, coaches, and contributors that make this game great.
Regulators, mount up. We're coming.
Football Convos. Visit footballconvos.com or visit us at iTunes.
And coming back for segment 3, or the third period, as it were, And You Must Die, episode 4. We made 4. It's pretty exciting.
And I haven't killed you yet. That's pretty exciting.
Oh, baloney. Because I keep telling you that I'm in Rochester, but I'm really in Uzbekistan.
Well, that significantly decreases my chances of killing you.
Could
so
you
good for
pick
you.
out Uzbekistan on a map, Die?
Oh, no.
I can, because
I am very bad at geography. Very bad.
Really? Where is Liechtenstein?
I don't know.
Surprised you didn't know. Who knew?
Why?
It's a very important country, and we have diplomatic relations with Liechtenstein.
Okay.
Anyways, we were remiss in the first couple segments. We're going to talk a little Vikings free agency, a little pie in the sky, but also a little realistic names. Then we'll get into a little Would You Rather and your Twitter questions, because we're excited. Bring it on home. So these free agents, I have 5 big name of the big names, like the very thin chance that we get them, but names that Vikings fans really love to throw around. First one, Dubnyk Sue. So, Di, tell me, chance or no chance that they're a Viking? No chance Sue's a Viking?
No chance.
How fun would that be, though?
No.
He's kind of a dirt bag, but he'll be our dirt bag.
He's dirty. No. This team is good defensively. They don't need that kind of poison. No.
Ooh.
Just no. Sorry. Pass.
But
no.
Sue, Everson, Barr, Eric Kendricks. That'd be disgusting.
No.
Fine. Demaryius Thomas, who is on a franchise deal with the Broncos, except it's the non-exclusive. So we'd have to sign him up to a big-ass contract and also give up 2 first-round picks. Chance or no chance?
No chance.
I don't think.
Although I like him. I like him a lot,
Really?
but the price is too high.
I really don't think he's that great. Like, I would take Dez a million times over Demaryius, even with all the off-the-field crap. But
well, we can't get Dez because they franchised him.
Give it time. Give it time.
There you go.
Next one up, a wide receiver could get Randall Cobb. Chance or no chance?
No chance.
Now, I think Goodell kind of owes us one. So if we could allocate Jennings' money, which is $11 million this year, over to Randall Cobb without penalty or dead cap, I think he should let us have it. Come on.
No chance.
God, I would love to have Randall Cobb instead of Jennings. So.
Sorry.
Fine.
I'm not arguing that, but no chance.
Yeah, I know. A lot of these names are going to be no chance anyways. Speaking of which, DeMarco Murray.
I mean, I think they could have a chance at him because, the Cowboys have franchised Dez, and I think they're looking to move Murray, but why would you want him? I'm sorry. He's broken so much, and he has so much mileage. I mean, there's no upside to him for the Vikings, so I say no chance.
Yeah, now people are always claiming, well, he rushed for 1,800 yards last year. Well, that's the only time he's actually stayed healthy, and that was even with a broken hand. And he wasn't running quite as hard towards the end of the year. He was wearing down a bit. He is kind of glass Charlie and has fumble problems. An injury-prone, fumble-prone running back from Oklahoma. I've never heard that before. Yeah. Anyways, last one of the big names, Mike Iupati.
I suppose there's a decent chance, but I mean, I'm not sold.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big market for him. There's a name from Arif's list that I'm more excited about. So let's run through the top 5 names on Arif's list from Vikings Journal. And this is a bit of a different list, mostly because they're realistic names. And, who knew? Vikings fans can skew realistic. But the first one is Devin McCourty, safety, Patriots. Die chance or no chance?
No chance.
Yeah, he said numerous times that New England is home. Plus, if he does hit the open market, I think there will be a huge bidding war since the safety class, free agent-wise, is very thin and the draft is thin. So it'd be a nice idea. I'd love to put him with Harrison, but eh.
He's going to be expensive.
Number 2 is Kareem Jackson, cornerback for the Texans. Die chance or no chance?
Slim chance.
I'd say slim too. I don't think cornerback is that huge of a need. Nah, just kidding. Captain Munderland is kind of Who knows if he'll even make the 53. Josh Robinson made strides last year. I don't think he's ever going to be a great number 2 corner, and then Xavier's going to be Xavier. So Kareem Jackson, I wouldn't mind. Third guy is the guy I'm standing on the table for. I'm starting to get on the train. I was slow getting on, but now I'm on. Clint Balling, guard from the Bengals. Die, chance or no chance?
50-50?
I misheard you. I believe you said 99%, and you are correct. We're getting Clint Balling.
I mean, they need it. I mean, that's definitely a need. So that's not bad, but it depends on what the price tag is and what's available in the draft and free agency.
So yeah, I'm fine with the guard because right now the Vikings as is going into the draft, there's a big need at the left guard. So you'd have to either grab the Scherf, grab Rock Hollins, and just have to roll with that because that is a big need. But if you pick up a guy like a Balling or a veteran like Justin Blaylock or Todd Harriman's at free agency, then it's not really a 1A need going into the draft. But hopefully Balling, he's young. Number 4, Brandon Graham, linebacker for the Eagles. Chance or no chance?
No chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be heartbroken the other way. Number 5, Akeem Ayers, linebacker for the Patriots. He came over from Tennessee midseason last year. Was kind of a disappointment. Played well for the Patriots down the stretch. Chance or no chance?
No chance.
No chance. All right, so bottom line, we're getting Clint Balling and Dubnyk Sue.
No, we're not getting Sue. Shut up.
That would be nuts.
Shut your face.
That would be.
No, it
nuts.
would not be nice. He's oh.
No, I didn't say nice. I said it would be nuts because he's a dirtbag, but he could be our dirtbag.
No, it's not. No, I don't want anybody
It'd be
that
like
plays
when the Wild
like.
got Matt Cook.
Stop. I don't want anyone that plays
name
like that to play
dropping.
for the Vikings. Stop.
Name
No.
dropping.
Stop. No.
All right. Speaking of stop, we will not stop playing a little game called Would You Rather.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And yeah, it's just levity. Some of them are sports related, some are not. And like for example, the one I'm going to toss out for you, Di, is would you rather be 3'7" or 7'3"?
Oh, damn. 3'7".
I'm going to go
I could wear
3'7"
kids'
too.
clothes then, and they're cheaper. So
I'm going to
there
go
you
3'7" too because I think it would just be really inconvenient being that tall, especially when we get older.
You'd like hurt yourself. Like you'd hit your head and like, yeah, I'd rather be a hobbit, like a smaller hobbit. Yeah,
Although if you're 7'3", you're almost guaranteed to have a roster spot on a basketball team.
Really? With zero athletic ability? I mean, I have
I mean, George
athletic
Mirasan, look at him.
Okay, well,
Wang ZZ. Michael Olowokandi. Oh, he was the number one pick. Oh, good for him. He sucked. Anyways, Vikings, Super Bowl, or $50,000?
Vikings, Super Bowl.
That's bold. Now, the caveat. Raise it to $100,000. Cash, tax-free.
I still take the Super Bowl. I actually really would.
$500,000 cash, tax-free.
I'll take the cash.
Die. Oh, boo, die, boo. How dare you deprive a Super Bowl? You're so greedy.
I clearly have a price tag, so there we go.
Probably going to go move over to Minnetonka or Arano or Wayzata, be a cake eater for the rest of your life. Bah. Dare you. All right. So do you want to alternate or do you want me just to ramble through all of mine first?
Let's alternate.
Okay, what you got?
All right. Would you rather sit naked on a pedestal in the middle of a crowded public park or sit naked on a platter with an apple in your mouth at a gala dinner party?
Gala dinner party because there's probably some rich, desperate housewives there, and that's just marketing.
Nice. All right, your turn.
Would you rather know when you died and how or no?
No.
See, I feel like you could do a lot of planning, though, if you knew the former. Like, if you knew...
No, don't want to know. Nope.
Fine. What you got?
Go to your high school reunion a multimillionaire but 200 pounds overweight, or be poor but in perfect shape.
That'd be a fatty. You can always lose weight.
There you go.
You can always make more money, too, except I feel like if you have the money, then you could get a good trainer, or hell, you could just lipo everything.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, here's a good one. Wolves title, or you get a lap dance from Channing Tatum.
Wolves title.
Unlimited lap dances from Channing Tatum.
I'm still going with Wolves title.
Hey, good for you. The Rubes approve. All right, what you got?
All right. So have to walk to the end of your driveway nude every day to get your mail, or have your spouse walk to the mailbox in the nude every day to get your mail?
I think I would do it because she has a clean arrest record, and we'll keep it that way.
Awesome. Your turn.
About that. Man versus Food. Are you familiar with the show?
I am.
All right. Would you rather do the volume challenges where he has to eat like a 5-pound burrito or 5 gallons of ice cream, or the spicy challenge?
You know, I can't eat a lot, so I'm going to go with spicy.
You can't eat a lot because you're 3'7"?
Right.
Nah.
Exactly.
All right. I got 2 more. How many you got?
As many as I need to have.
All right. So why don't you do 3, and I'll do my last 2, starting with you. What you got?
Eat 1 small hotel bar of soap or 6 sticks of butter.
See, I've done both, so which one did I enjoy more? Probably the butter, because, you know, they got the bulletproof coffee that says, oh, you just put butter in your coffee and you're good for the day. You don't need to eat breakfast.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Vikings win the Super Bowl, or you never have to pay for paper towels or toilet paper again.
Vikings win the Super Bowl.
I don't know, Di.
No, it's not even close. Like, I will pay for toilet paper.
We'll
and
get you
paper
the
towels.
nice paper towels.
No, like I buy the nice
Quilts
paper
with
towels.
quick picker. Oh,
Nope.
ooh, la-ti-da.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
La-ti-da. All right, 2 more. What you got?
All right. Have to spend an entire pro basketball game with your face sticking right above the rim, or an entire hockey game with your face sticking out in the middle of the goal net.
I would say goal net because Dubnyk's going to protect me, baby. He's going to protect the moneymaker.
Well, I didn't say it was wild, but okay, fair enough.
Or maybe I get Nikolai Havabulin. Reference
Nice.
number 2. All right, and my last one, ass tattoo or face tattoo?
Ass.
What would you get on your ass?
I don't know.
As a follow-up.
Something pretty.
All right, so a photo of skinny Kent Herbeck on Di's ass.
No.
Fine. And last one, bring it on home. What you got?
Thoroughly lick a large frog all over, or just once lick a 2-inch area of the backside of the urinal in a porta potty.
Now, are they hallucinogenic frogs?
Nope.
So just a regular frog?
Right.
Porta potty.
Oh my God! Really?
I'll take my chances. You don't know where that frog's been?
Jesus.
You don't know where that
Oh
frog's
my
been?
God.
I know exactly what I'm getting into with the porta potty.
Oh, I'm like throwing up in my mouth right now. That's so gross.
You know where that frog's been? You might have been in Richard Gere's house. He's done weird stuff.
Gross. You gross.
Let's make it you gross. Our Twitter followers. Just kidding. Love you. So we got some questions in from them. First one is from, how do I pronounce this? Georgette?
Georgette.
Andy, how many times do you check yourself in the mirror per day? And I followed up with the question, does the ceiling mirror count? And the answer would be not enough, is my answer to that.
Not surprising.
Next one up is from Randall E.V. Is wearing women's underwear part of your turn on? Question mark. For me, yes. How about yourself, Di?
I routinely wear women's panties because I'm a woman and I wear panties.
It just feels right.
So there we go.
So, Di, you're saying that you wear women's panties because it just feels right.
Because I'm a woman. And that's what we do. Also, only Victoria's Secret panties. But
right.
There we go.
Now, not to go beyond the pale, which is I'm going to do anyways. So are we talking like straight up standard panties? We talking less fabric, or we talking more fabric in the back, Di?
You know what? I'm not. Nope.
I mean, what sort of scale are we talking about here?
Nope, not going to do it. No.
Because Victoria's Secret doesn't make granny panties, and you don't strike me as a granny panty type anyway.
Well, I'm not a granny panty type, but I'm also not like a string up my ass type.
Although
so,
it is nice if you have granny panties, you were stuck out in the wilderness, you can use them to pitch a tent. Bear Grylls did that once on Survivor Man.
Wow. Okay.
I've been out here half an hour. Better drink my piss and make a tent out of women's underwear. Anyways, all right, so back on the list. This one's from Rob. Ronda Rousey is the most popular fighter in UFC. Agree or disagree?
Don't care.
Is she the only fighter that you can name?
Yes.
I'm going to have to agree. That's even above the women because you used to have guys like Anderson Silva, who's broke his leg and that has all these PED things, and George St. Pierre, he's been out of the game. But I'm a pretty novice casual MMA guy, but Ronda Rousey is the name that always sticks out to me, so I'm going to say, yeah. And I do think that she could whip a man's ass. Maybe not like one of the top guys, but maybe one of the middle-ranked guys. I could see that. And I would pay to watch that guy get his ass kicked.
Oh, I would too. I would love to see that actually because, I mean, she's badass. I'm not trying to slight her, but I'm not into the whole UFC MMA thing. That's like, I don't care. Like,
it's like human cockfighting.
That's what she said.
Like, I don't I enjoy the grappling and like the actual martial arts, but when it's actual ground and pound, when one guy or one person is pinned and then they're just throwing haymakers and elbows at the person, that's so much. That's just like a street fight.
Yep.
Eric Thompson asks, why does Andy blindly hate Adrian Peterson so much? Well, mostly because he whipped his kid. No, I'm just kidding. A lot of people actually think I do hate Adrian because of what I've said on the podcast and what I've written on Twitter, but I actually don't. I see him as a commodity that has to be moved this offseason because ain't going to be moving him next offseason. And I put out the analogy that he's like 2-day-old sashimi grade yellowfin tuna. You got to move him now. He's still got value. He's still good. But tomorrow, you may not want it. So there you go. Do you hate Adrian?
I wouldn't say I hate Adrian. I would say I dislike Adrian and I don't want him back.
There you go. And last one from Nathan Manthe. When's Andy's class on how to properly have enough gifts and picks for every Viking situation? Well, thing is, when it's late at night and you run out of things to binge watch on Netflix, you just look through the gifts. You just go to like Google Images and search reaction gifs or reaction memes and just download a bunch of them. And you'll find a use for all of them because this is, all right, so you know X-Men?
Yes, I'm aware of X-Men.
All right,
yes.
You're aware of X-Men. So
Yep.
I have a mutant power. I have two of them. First one is night hearing, and that's an Office reference. And the second one is I am able to communicate in only memes and GIFs, which is a superpower that has yet to be shown to be beneficial, but I have it. So when the revolution starts, Professor X, you got my number. There you go. You got no reaction? Just dead air?
I have nothing. It's like, okay, there you go. Congratulations. Awesome. There you go.
All right. Well, that was an awesome show, Di. How do you think we did in episode 4?
We kicked butt.
Next week is the 5th anniversary, and that is cotton, paper, silver.
You can deliver me paper. That'd be good. I could always use paper.
Well, no. What is 5? Is it wood?
I have no idea.
Di, you're supposed to know these things.
I don't do that. No. What? Because I'm a woman?
No, because you're a teacher.
No. Nobody cares. It's just dumb.
Fine.
Nobody cares.
Anything exciting from you coming up? What's going on in the world of Di Murphy?
We are moving out of this shitty 1,000-square-foot rental into a much nicer place in like less than 30 days. Woot woot!
Hey, that's exciting. And if you need some help moving, I have the number for U-Haul.
Please, honey, we pay people. We're not expecting anyone to help us out.
Ooh.
We pay people. Yeah.
Ooh, la-ti-da. Now, do you pack the boxes yourself, or do you pay them to pack your stuff in the boxes as well?
No, we packed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh, la-ti-da. What about writing-wise? Anything with the Daily Norseman?
No, I haven't written anything in a while.
I thought you had a big Adrian piece.
I got an Adrian thing going, but I haven't done it. But I'm trying. I'm going to try.
With the lead. Adrian Peterson helping out the Cardinals. This is a great deal for both sides. And Steve Keim sending a 1-5 and the next year's 3 to Minnesota for Adrian Peterson. It's a win-win. And then we'll meet Adrian in the NFC Championship game. It's snowing at the bank. Last game ever outside. Well, unless the new stadium's bird-killing roof collapses like the old one. And then it's snowing. People are drunk. Everyone's shouting Teddy when we're on offense, even though that's dumb. And we stick it to Adrian and the Cardinals at home. Larry Fitzgerald is back home. There's so many storylines. And I guess Michael Floyd, too. We love our Minnesota boys done good. And that's it. And the Vikings go to the Super Bowl and then get hammered by the Patriots. But, hey, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that. 0-5 in the Super Bowl is better than 0-4.
I say no. But there you go.
I will take a Super Bowl loss. It's something we can build on.
No.
Fine. But we are out of here. Episode 4 is in the books. We'll try again harder next week. That's what she said. And we'll also find out what the 5th anniversary is. But follow us on Twitter at @AndyMustDie. That's D-I, all one word. Subscribe, rate us on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher. We're everywhere. We're kind of a big deal, mostly because of you.
Oh, duh.
Website, as always, AndyMustDie.com. Maybe I can coax Die to put up a blog instead of her Adrian piece. Maybe she can talk about moving and being like, ooh, I pay people to help me move. La-ti-da. And they're not going to steal my stuff because I'm watching them.
Okay.
Fine. But we're out of here. I'm Andy Carlson, and she
is Die Murphy.
Boom. Thanks for listening, and have an awesome week. We will catch you next time. Bro hugs all around.
The music was created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, check out soundcloud.com/Deeb.
In my opinion, that sucked.